World Warfare and Economics. It actually sounds like a class you may have taken in high school, but no, it's a game, and it's new and improved and better than ever. You may have heard of this game before, as it's been out for a while, but as of today, March 1st, 2025, at the recording of this video, the game now has a big O update for everybody. So if you already own the game, boom, the update should be out for you for free, and all updates for this game will continue to be free, and if you haven't gotten it yet, you should definitely check out the link down below in the description. Well, thanks to the maker of World Warfare and Economics for sending over an early key for this beta version and for the game as a whole, and for sponsoring today's video as well, so we can take a look at what's different between those of you who played the old version and me taking a look at what's new in the new version by just experiencing it for the first time. Apparently there's a lot of fixes to load times and resource management. Things have improved for diplomacy, such as diplomatic missions and incidents are now more realistic, and things like intelligence have been redefined, which now allows for automatic manpower allocation and realistic covert operations. UI and UX has been improved as well, which is great. A lot of these games certainly have a lot of menus, and every time that a developer makes a step to try to make it easier and more streamlined, must be applauded, because man, you want to know as much information as you can, but at a glance, you know, there's a lot of stuff to cover, and that's, well, what we're going to cover today in World Warfare and Economics. So welcome aboard. Good to see you all here. Thanks again for subscribing to the channel, as we'll take our first look at a new game in this old game that's not yet released and has a new update. But also performance has been improved, as well as memory usage too, so you could probably almost run this game on a postage stamp at a certain point, and that's one good thing to see. So let's go ahead and jump in and check it out for ourselves. Again, link down below in the description for it. So enjoy. Now, I previously looked at the old version of this game, and am now looking at the new version, and I really like this. It's a lot more clean to be able to see your nations. Before, it was just a list of all the countries in the world, and now you can, I think, select any nation by clicking on it, or going over to the menu on the right side. And then, of course, there's recommended countries, too, that are usually world players throughout history: Russia, China, France, United Kingdom, Japan, Canada, India, South Korea, North Korea. But pretty much every country is here, and like I mentioned, you just click on whomever you want to. If you want to play as Poland, boom, there you go. Czech Republic, boom, there you go. Slovakia, Hungary, all available for you. Romania, yeah, all that good stuff. So very cool. And every country. So if you'd like to just chill, it's like Switzerland, and just watch the world burn, as they usually do, feel free. So cool stuff. All right, it also tells us a bunch of information about their GDP and military manpower, and how they contribute to you know, society, for their different things and stuff. Things and stuff are definitely included in this game. Look at that COVID simulation as well. Iron mode, so that way if you make a mistake, there's no going back, unless you probably get an exit save on that one. But really cool, and a very nice detailed map too. I like how clean it is. You know, you zoom out and can tell whatever country it is, and if you want to go to Madagascar, you just click on that, and you can zoom right into pretty much the entirety of the landscape, and loads in relatively nicely. I've seen worse maps on flight simulators before, so it does a pretty good job of showing geography and topography. I don't know. Anyway, wow, what a Chad, that country. Let's pick one and get started then, shall we? Let's go ahead and play as, I don't know, let's go for Poland, I guess, maybe. Go ahead and jump in the old Polska, and we'll get started here. Taking a look at all of our information about this country, we see here their government deficit, their GDP and manpower for the government, for the military, which is part of the government, of course, and its population at about 40 million, getting close. So, and it's a full democratic nation, which I think it actually tells you whether or not, if you click on Sweden, for example. Actually, it says full democratic, but I don't know. There's many different government types, but I think they simplify them a little bit, because Sweden has something to do with the monarchy. But it's not like the British monarchy. We could talk about it all day, but let's get started. All right, so apparently we have faster load time. So I'm going to let this load, because it should be in about less than 10 seconds now, which is a big improvement. And wow, look at that. It definitely lived up to that for sure. Now, I believe the game also has a tutorial, and for those of you wanting to learn, it is something that should pop up every time that you play for the first time. So, but to be as blunt as we can, basically all the world news and things that happen will pop up down here at the bottom, and we can click on that to find out who's at war with who, and who's trading with who, and that kind of thing. So, wow, bop and music too, damn. Let's see, we got yearly budgets. Oh boy, get excited everybody, we got yearly budgets to review. But hey, you know, honestly, if you love spreadsheet simulators, that's exactly what a lot of these games are like, and that's kind of what's fun, is trying to remember all this information and find out what your nation's advantages and disadvantages are. Like, for example, here, you know, we've got our debt, revenues, and population, and things like that. So we might outnumber somebody who might want to go to war with us. Like maybe Belarus will start something, or maybe, oh yeah, I'm looking at you, Latvia. I'm watching you. Anyway, okay, so let's go through a few of the things that we can do in this game. So as I had mentioned, there's been changes to diplomacy and intelligence and also resource management, and those are the big things of this game because, of course, we have, global conflicts that could take place, so the military, very important part, and also economics. So we see some of the major cities here in Poland. I've been to this city here, Krakow, and then also Warsaw up there. Very nice. And a couple other cities in between, like I think also I've been to Katowice, as well. So, but yeah, very pretty cities and cities that are very old, and this does a good job of showing you which ones are bigger than others just by the number of buildings, and you can also find out a little bit more about them by hovering over it with their population. So we can see where all of our troops and tanks and armies are positioned to protect ourselves. So we've got Russia to the north. We do not have movements rights within Russia, so yeah, no open borders with them. So this is a Russian territory here, Kaliningrad, and that belongs to them over here in Russia. I don't know why there's a fog of war. I mean, at this point, I think Poland knows how to read a map. I guess what's the fog of war right now is everyone else's movements and things like that. So we don't know what the Czech are up to, for example, over here in like Ostrava. Somewhere over here. Actually, much closer to the border. Oh, can we not see the cities? It pops up for a quick second. I can't confirm. I know some of these areas. But anyway, long story short, yeah, we can see all of our borders and what we have there, and that's really important. So got to keep an eye on that. Then we got our diplomacy as well, so we can check out our government. And these things are in development, but it does show what will be happening very soon, like, for example, multiplayer. So that's something that we'll be able to, see in the future of the game. Got budgets, taxes, and world markets to check out. So we can break down exports and imports and look at all that stuff too. And it's all being played out in real time as soon as we hit the go button. And then what else do we have here? Resource penalties. So we got 11 penalties against us, things that we might want to actually, address. So these are some of the problems with our nation right now. So we're having an energy crisis. We're having a shortage of construction materials. These are things that we're missing, so we could try to import more of these things from our neighbors, or we could try to make more of it ourselves, or invade somebody and take it for ourselves. Now, probably not going to be a good move for Poland to go to war with Germany or Belarus or really anybody. So we got to try to, prepare for the worst. And this game is taking place in 2020, I believe. This one it starts. Yeah, January 1st, 2020. So 5 years ago. So COVID is about to hit or already hitting most of the world, so some policy changes might pop up, and you could actually turn that mode on and off, so there might be a difference to how nations trade with you or react or airline travel, that kind of thing. So we got to kind of be mindful of that. So yeah, a lot of real world events here that will take place and things that we got to think about, and we also have a lot of things to research too. So and it actually kind of shows us a little bit more about our military research from 1950 up to today. And other things too, so hull optimization and fuel cell technology. So some of these things could also go towards civilian vehicles too, but you can see what we were working on in 2015 and 2030, and things that we have planned for the future. So it looks like the game goes well into the future. Look at that, 2070, 2080. We're almost 100 years into the future. Oh, well past it. Wow, look at that. Fusion-powered missiles. Holy crap. 2150... Wow, look at this stuff here. Tidal military energy harvesting. What? Atmospheric manipulation technology in 2310. I think we're already working on that. I think that's already something going on right now. All right, so let's see. Organizations. Oh, so these are all of the other types of alliances and things we have to worry about. So we got the World Bank and European Union to work with as well. So we got 27 members, to which I think we are part of that union. Let's see, Poland, yep, listed right there, along with the Netherlands and Latvia and Italy. So it would probably be a bad idea to go to war with any of our neighbors, let's just say, people in the European Union. Those who they're in the neighborhood, right? Like Denmark's kind of right next door, not directly, but you know what I mean. So yeah, we got to be friendly with these guys and try to, invite more neighbors, because we need to prepare for what's about to happen, with these guys. Now, if it follows any sort of world history, too, there are actual custom scenarios, too, for China and the United States to fight, and also Israel, Iran, and the United States to also be involved, too. And I think more scenarios are coming, and I like to see that because those are conflicts that have happened in the past and, can happen again in the future, or, whatever. Who knows? By the time you see this video, who knows what's going to happen. So, but of course, we also have nukes. That's a thing. So we can also, fire off some nukes. Unfortunately for us, we don't have any. Wait a minute. Invalid setup. Wait a minute. We have 46 nukes? Hold on a second. I wasn't aware. When did this happen? Oh, ballistic. That's why. We have chemical, ballistic, and nuclear weapons at our disposal. And these are relations or at war. So Belarus and Russia, not very nice with us right now. And then everyone else doesn't really care. Nicaragua. You think kind of North Korea would have a stance. I don't know. But everybody else kind of doesn't really care. So we can launch missiles whenever we want, single launch or loop launch. It's kind of cool. We can set everything up and play it that way. So if you'd like to, right at the start, you can go ahead and start picking your targets if you're a nuclear power and start lobbing missiles to whomever. That's definitely an option too. So nuclear warfare is here. Global warfare is here. We also have, is that space? Space, a feature in development too. Wow. So we'll have satellites and things like that. Check that out. Very cool. All right. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and make some moves here then and see how things play out. So, see what we got going on here. We're semi-democratic. Oh, nice. We're democracy level 69. Nice. Nice. Oh, but that's going up 0.17 per turn. Monthly increase per month. Okay. So, let's see. Yearly budget has not been set. Let's start there. So, we're going to go ahead and do that if we want to. We can go ahead and, start paying off our debt if we want to. And we can see what our breakdown is here for taxes, health, transportation, media, arms deals, education, sports, security. We have trade deals, welfare, entertainment, and environment to pay off too, that we can start putting our budget towards, and also paying off our national debt. And I think we can start adjusting some of these things by going for our budgeting up here. And that'll, of course, increase our national debt. It looks like our debt will kind of remain the same unless we, I think, pay that off. It'll change the numbers. Yep, up there. But we'll go ahead and confirm that. Debt will increase by $0. So we're not going to be paying off any of our debt, but we're not taking out more either. And it looks like it's rather set, so fine by me, I guess, for now. We've also got our technologies to research, so we went through that already and went all the way to like 100 years in the future. Can't go back in time, but it is cool to see what we've already got unlocked. Some of these nations might not have these technologies, especially if you're playing as, I don't know, North Korea or something like that. You may have not discovered, Band-Aids. I don't know. Let's go to current year 2020 for us. And it looks like we're going to be moving towards 2025. So this will be a 5-year process. So precision navigation, autonomous navigation, advanced countermeasures, Hyperloop transportation. Wow, we got some options here too for what seems to be economics at the same time. Nanomedical devices and modular construction technology. Go ahead and put a little bit of money towards research on the nano division. Nanomedical stuff, let's research that. And can we only do one at a time, or is it going to switch it? We should be able to do multiple. As long as we have the money. We'll just throw a couple of bucks in here and there. And then on to our manufacturing. So as you saw before, we had a little bit of a problem with a few things. We got a shortage of animals and bread, construction materials, energy. I feel like a lot of these problems could be solved by building more stuff, so we should probably focus on construction materials. If we're going to build more farms, that's probably going to require us to have more mills and more bakeries, and so those are all going to take iron and copper and aluminum in order to build them and then have them function. We also have a problem with military logistics like fuel and iron, so iron's yet again a problem. Steel, iron again a problem. So I think it all comes down to increasing our iron mines and things like that. So I guess we'll try to do something along those lines. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at actually what we've got right now. We got aluminum, animals, beverages. Oh boy, we got a lot of that pivo. Pivo is good, or I guess as they would say, opravdu dobre, down there with the Radagast going on. May have to invade for some Radagast. Anyway, let's get back to the menu. We got ourselves a couple of things we could do for military manufacturing. We have no units being built, but maybe we should do... we could actually build some factories here, I think. Or this is what we got for our factories. So these are the number of factories that we have on the right. Sometimes hard to see, but that UI seems to be looking clean from what I saw before. I think we're going to go with a few more, maybe tanks if we can. We got tanks, APC, artillery, other defenses, cargo trucks. We did have a problem with logistics, so let's go ahead and maybe cargo will help with fuel delivery, and then maybe we can manufacture, import more fuel, and do the same for more iron. That might be a good thing for us. Select a unit to add to manufacture. I don't see an option there for cargo, though. Or for tank. But we do have APCs. We'll go with something like that. Maybe a couple of what we'll call Humvees then. And I think we can increase the number of these if we want to. Make some modifications to things. Alright. Good enough for now. Okay. And and there's our our population then. So population growth is at 0.20 and world influence is 21.94. Happiness is 21.71. That's not good. Wonder if there's a way to click it to see how to do more. Nope. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and have things play out then for us. I wonder if we can adjust the Got the world ticker down here. I want to see if it'll tell us previous news. No, okay. I wanted to see what was going on before we start. So anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can begin the battle. Wait, offers? Anybody offering us anything? No. Nobody responding to us. World reactions? Okay. World tension. War likelihood is less than 50%, I think. Is that what that means? Tension. Oh, and disasters too. Overpopulation. Top carbon polluting nations is China, India, and the United States. And the highest famine risk is India. And then I'm not sure the other ones. I'll have to... Pretty good with flags, but I'd have to know exactly what those nations are. And then events, of course, if they happen. Okay, let's get to it then. All right. We're moving now. And we're seeing a day-night cycle. Oh, wow. It's actually showing like one full day. You can see how much things can change. That is true. I mean, a battle could end within a day if you're prepared enough. Paratroopers or bombing campaign or artillery and then rolling it with tanks. I mean, that could all take a day. It could take a city in a day if you wanted to. Oh boy. Wonder if China and Russia will go to war for Lake Baikal. China having a lot of problems with fresh water. That may be an option. IRL. Alright, things are playing out. Unit manufacturer stuck due to insufficient resources or lack of funds. We're going to need some more of that sweet, sweet material coming in. Diplomacy, economy. Budget, taxes, world market. We would like to buy, I think. Oh, these are for military units. Okay. Sort by name as well. Okay, so we can import units or export them too. And let's try to import some steel then. Iron. What we really want. That'll be the fastest way to solve some of our quickest problems. We're adding to marketplace. I want to buy though. Military units. Oh, that's all for sale as well. Oh wow, and you could actually see some of the realistic artillery units too. These are some that I'm familiar with. Leopard 2A4, for example. All right. Full household appliances. Oh, we got another problem here. Intercity beat seats. Oh, we have a very big deficit in our intercity seats. People are expecting us to take immediate action. What seats? Does that mean like available seats on a bus? I'm not exactly sure what to do with that. or how to take action on that. We'll ignore it. They'll be fine. Let them eat cake. Eat them and let them eat pierogi. Or pierogu. Just one. Alright. Now I wonder too if there's actually... Okay, I wanted to see if there was an in-game tutorial that we could continue to turn on and off for additional help throughout the game. Because I also feel like this is the type of game where there's going to be a lengthy tutorial, which I have played and did see the tutorial, and now things have changed quite a bit. And keep in mind that if you have played this before, the game has changed so much that some of your previous saves or scenarios won't carry over to the new game type. So there's a lot of big changes, things in new places and features that weren't, there before. So it's almost like playing, a whole new game. I mean, sometimes updates are so big that it almost acts like a completely different game. So good stuff. But anyway, those are the basics. I wanted the tutorial to pop up too to remind me of anything that I may have forgotten. But here, one other thing to mention is that we have different units here. We have our naval units, our aircraft units, and then also our ground forces too. So those are stationed all over. And then we can also take a look at some of the other resources here with all these filters. This game is just like a wonderful map simulator. If you love map games, this is it. This is all you're going to need. All right, let's take a look at some of the scenarios too. I want to see what the build-up for China and the United States, and if there were other ones added to the game as well. Let's check it out. Well, it looks like for this update, I don't see any sort of new scenarios like I mentioned before with Iran, Israel, and the United States, and also with the United States and China. It looks like those are still in development now, so taken off the table of being available, but they are in development as it says here. But we can create our own scenarios in a way. Again, remember, we can customize some of the difficulty here and or, change some of the options there. So we can increase the likelihood of thermonuclear tactical fun times, if you know what I mean, by sliding that slider all the way up there. And then there's a tutorial that's still being worked on for this version as well. So that is off. But we also have COVID, which is currently in development. We have, oh boy, I can't believe I said that. But also random pandemics too. Iron Man mode, a lot of these still in development. But Fog of War you can turn off too. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we're going to try to fire some nukes and see what we can see here as we play as the good old US of A in 2020. So let's go ahead and load back in. Let's check and see if it's that 10-second. And you got a lot of Mao Zedong and Sun Tzu and other, military and political leaders, with their quotes and whatnot. Okay, well, let's see what our problems are as the U.S. in 2020. Looks like the same as most nations, I guess, always trying to get more and more and more. More alcohol, more cannabis, and more toys, I guess. All right, a severe shortage of toys and fruits. Well, these are things that are always in demand, though. But there you go. Okay, let's see where our major cities are. Let's see. Okay, and also taking a look at military units that may pop up. Ground forces, for example. Very nice. Okay, well, let's see what other things we can do. Oh, we can balance the budget too. I think we're making 21 trillion is our GDP. Oh, how long to pay off the debt? Just 1 year? Imagine doing that. That'd be crazy. What else do we have down here for supply? I may have mentioned this before too. Aluminum. We have animals, beverages, bread, cereal, and coal too to consider. But I don't see anything listed here for like oil or fuel or anything like that. Semi-democratic. Oh yeah, there's our GDP at 21 trillion, growth at 0.35%. We have more stats and stuff. All right, let's fire off some nukes because we already turned things up high. What do we have here? Go ahead and do that. 46. I think we should have more than that. I don't know what 46 is. I thought it was like our total number of missiles, but let's see. Testing, urban places, enemy known units, military infrastructure. Let's do urban. Launch type, silos, submarines, and MLRS. I don't know if we'll have enough for that. Let's just do silos and subs. Set power, everything. Loop launch. We're just gonna do a one-time war games launch then. Got to see the nukes. Got to test that out, right? It'll always come down to that. In fact, I think I remember reading that that's why the most amount of people who play games like this that have options for nukes and who play like, you know, Civ or something like that, most players launch nukes because they just have them and they spent all this time researching them, and then they don't want them to go to waste. So people will literally start a nuclear war in games because they kind of, you know, put all their money into that, or, you know, they're kind of bored, and so they fire that off. So all right, so who are we firing at, though? Urban, like all of our enemies, or do we have to pick somebody in... Oh, yeah, of course, we have to pick a target, then. Wow, estimated casualties will only be 216,000? No way. 80 missiles. What? Max range, 9... Wait, what? 9 kilometers. Wait, what? I need to see how the hell this works. Invalid setup. All right, let's try to figure out our setup. What are we missing here? Oh, we got to select our weapons, too. I see. Well, actually, I think I saw TACMs here, and that's going to be an MLRS. Let's deselect that. But that still pops up here. Wait, if I select silos and submarines, I feel like that should automatically select all of these. We've got Minutemen 1, 2, and 3. Lances, Attackums. I don't know, put everything on the list, whatever. I don't care. Ah, there we go. Now we got it up to about 6 point something million. Cool. All right, let's see if that works. Okay, hit the button. It didn't say invalid, so let's on pause. Oh, there we go. Oh boy, nuclear launch detected. Well, let's see if they fire back. And all of ours are coming from the actual United States. I don't see any from submarines anywhere. Oh wait, maybe... Oh, no, there was one from Hawaii, I think? Or just off the coast of Hawaii. Our submarines weren't even in place. You'd imagine at the start of this that we would have submarines around where America has submarines, usually around, you know, Japan, or the, you know, anywhere around the Pacific, close and around China and Japan, and then also, of course, anywhere around like the North Pacific and the the North Atlantic, and that's it. Nobody. That's it. Nobody shooting back. Russia was sleeping. Okay. All right. Now I put war all the way up at the top, right? Oh boy. Money is plummeting. People are mad at us. I think we're being tariffed or something. I don't know. Let's go back to the nuclear war. Do I still have any more nukes? Invalid setup. Are we going a second wave, boys? Well, let's take out a couple of them, yeah. Oh, these are the people who are not very fond of us at the moment. We got China, Iran, Cuba, and North Korea, who are not really feeling what we're putting down. Maybe that was just a little preemptive strike. All right, let's try that again. Okay, so all right, so a bunch of missiles are heading towards North Korea, a bunch of missiles heading towards Cuba. I actually wish there was a slower speed mode. Wow, so that's hitting every that's cool, though, that the preset mode is actually not just hitting Havana or randomly in Cuba, but this is actually hitting port cities, and I know it's Cuba, so most of them are close to the water, but very cool that they seem to be actually targeting important cities. Now, Pyongyang should be liquidated now. Kind of hard to tell. They do look a little burnt, but it could be, you know, the elevations of things. Russia can't find targets. In range of North Korea. Wow, okay, like we won. I could only imagine we also hit Iran, but maybe we ran out of missiles. I didn't see any missiles going towards a lot of these guys. You know, I just want to fire nukes, but let's see if we can... Is there a drop-down menu? No. Okay, yeah, so missiles definitely should have been going towards North Korea, Russia, Iran, and who else was it? Iran? China, I thought there was one more on the list. But yeah, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and Iran. That's hard to tell. I wonder if there's an actual overview of nuclear fallout. Let's see. Okay, I think we ran out of nukes. No casualties at all. Maybe somebody dying of a heart attack, I'm not sure. But I will really be curious to see how space comes into play in this as well. Like if there'll be space-launched nuclear weaponry, and then of course if there'll be weapons to intercept those, like, you know, the whole Star Wars system from the 80s, which was kind of a whole fib. But what do we got here? Trackers? I don't know. Very cool regardless. Now, this is the type of game, too, where you're going to have to play this for a very long time. Like, if you want to play as Spain and, I don't know, invade Portugal or something like that, or somehow unify or do, I don't know, if you have some sort of an ambitious goal, it's going to take you a very long time for that to happen, right? Like, it's not something where even if, you know, if you're playing as modern-day Germany and you want to recreate the beginning of the Second World War again, God forbid, it's still going to take a very long time, and there's systems, of course, in place for that not to be a thing. So it seems like, you know, you can't just go against whoever you want. We've already got, as it showed there, you know, we got the World Bank set up, we have the United Nations set up, and the European Union, and so, you know, a lot of these nations that used to be enemies are now kind of, well, they may not like each other, but they're going to tolerate each other, and, you know, they got to answer to Brussels otherwise in some scenarios. So, but, you know, you can see all the NATO... I wonder if there's actually a filter for NATO nations or whatnot. But, yeah, still cool to see. And then, of course, I wonder if there'll be a way to adjust nations like friendliness or whatnot. If you're playing... If you start as 2020 Russia or 2020 Saudi Arabia or 2020 Brazil, you're going to have enemies already based on just, you know, history. You know, there's always good guys and bad guys for everybody. So that might be a thing. Or, dude, imagine playing as Turkmenistan, dude. Wow. Or Uzbekistan. Or, of course, Kazakhstan, yeah. I don't even know what that is. Kyrgyzstan? I've heard of all these nations, but it's kind of funny to see some of them on the map. Because, honestly, I know most of these nations and where they are. But then if you ask me where Bulgaria is, I'd probably point at Romania. But at least I'm in a close area, right? Or Serbia, I'd probably point where, I don't know, Croatia is maybe? I don't know. At least I'm close. At least I'm not pointing at, like, Austria or, like, Sweden. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, still cool, though, to see. And, of course, we have naval units that can move around. So we have, like, carrier... I'm sure there's carrier groups as well that we can launch because we did have submarine-launched missiles. But I can't believe there's, like, no news on this at all. Like, we launched nukes at everybody and nobody cares. And the world tension is at 100%. So, enemies, you know, plus 10%, war likelihood 50% all the way on the right side. Events, it doesn't report that we nuked the world. Disaster chance 24%. Overpopulation, though, we took care of that. Took care of that a little bit. And I'd say we moved in the top spot for being the top carbon-producing nation. We just turned everything to dust. So there's that. So, yeah, all right, good times, right? I mean, yeah. So anyway, in conclusion, all I got to say about this is that these are the types of games that I really want to get into and oftentimes don't have the full time to play, and I'll go in and fire off nukes. But what is cool here is that there's an incredible amount of depth, and there's a lot of things that are already in place that are being worked on. So it's cool to see features kind of confirmed, like space warfare or espionage, and then also development to where the developer is very transparent about, you know, things that they want to work on. So again, loading times, resource management, diplomacy, intelligence, the UI, overall performance, and then memory usage are things that have been improved too. So when the time comes for multiplayer, more players can have fun with that, and that's something I think a lot of people will look forward to. In fact, if we jump back to the main menu real quick and let's check that loading time one mo again, that should be something that's listed there, and I'm looking forward to it. So well, at least it's not there at the moment. It was there in the previous menu, but I guess it's been removed because it's like a coming soon feature that's not quite here. But the update is out now. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching and being part of the streams and the videos. and I certainly want to keep checking out games that are maybe too big for me, even for all the time I play in the world for games. But this is certainly like 18D chess, political, economic, and of course warfare all together in one, playing as nations pretty much in the modern times, starting in 2020. And then you could, of course, make new friends, new enemies as you play as any nation in the world. That's pretty damn spectacular. And a lot of games try to do that, but this one's doing it on an incredible depth of modern times, plus all the details of where their units are, what they consist of, nuclear weapons, and a lot more. And being made by a single developer. One person. Pretty cool, actually. All right, guys. Well, that's all the time I have for today for World Warfare and Economics. But if you'd like to see more of this game, let me know down below in the comment section of what you like about games like this. Is it the nukes? Is it the diplomacy? Is it the playing with friends? Or, going against the world? You let me know down below. I bet you won't. But I bet you'll subscribe and tune in for more videos in the future. Hope to see you all very soon. Thanks again for watching. Links down below in the description for World Warfare and Economics, so check it out, and the new update all today down below. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.